So last time we left off with this huge question about My City Connected, MCC.
Right.
If the model actually works, if the math holds up in one of these pilot cities, it kind of changes everything.
It really does.
The question stops being if community-owned infrastructure is possible, and it becomes, well, what happens to the big platforms when people realize they don't actually need them?
That is the perfect place to start this deep dive.
Yeah.
Because we're moving past just, is it possible? And we're getting into the architecture, how it's built.
The nuts and bolts.
Exactly. The source material is so clear on this. MCC isn't trying to be a better Facebook or a cheaper Instacart. They call it a structural correction.
A correction, not a competitor.
Precisely. The goal isn't to play the game of data extraction better than the giants. The goal is to build a local digital utility that's so fundamentally sound, so beneficial, that there's just no incentive to use the old extractive systems anymore.
Okay, so that's our mission today. We are going deep into the three core pieces of this: the economics, the governance, and the security model.
The three legs of the stool.
Right. And by the end of this, you should have a really clear picture of the difference between a platform designed to pull wealth out and infrastructure designed to recirculate it within.
Let's get into the wiring diagram.
Okay, let's start with the money, the economics. When we say the existing platforms have a structural failure, what does that actually look like for, a local coffee shop or an artist?
It looks like paying rent on your own customers.
Yeah.
I mean, that's what it is. The incumbent model is just designed to take a slice of every single thing you do.
The commission.
The commissions.
Yeah.
Which can be anywhere from, 5 to 30%? That's a huge chunk of your revenue.
Yeah.
And then on top of that, there's the advertising.
Right.
Your reach gets throttled, so you have to pay them just to talk to the people who already follow you.
Mm.
It's not a bug in their system. It's the core feature of their business model.
And MCC's whole argument is to just flip that on its head.
Yeah.
To change the purpose from advertising to utility.
Completely. And that creates this massive, undeniable advantage for a local business. I mean, the seller economics are it's a zero commission model.
Zero.
Sellers keep 100% of their listed sale price. 100%. Think about what that means for the 32 million small businesses in the country, for the local creator economy.
Keeping that extra 10, 20, 30%, that's not just profit. For many, it's the difference between viability and closing down.
It's everything.
Okay, but here's the big, obvious question, the one everyone asks. If you take zero commission, how in the world do you keep the lights on? How is this sustainable?
And that's where the design gets really, really smart. It's built to be transparent and, frankly, a little conservative, something a bank or a regulator can look at and immediately understand.
No venture capital funny money.
None. It relies on just two existing, totally predictable revenue streams. No ads, no commissions.
All right, so what's source number one?
The first is a minimal $1 a month verified membership fee, paid by every single user.
Okay, I have to stop you there. $1 a month. That feels like a massive barrier to adoption when every other platform is hammering the word free into our heads.
It does, but they're reframing the entire concept. It's not a fee to see content. It's an access fee for a utility, like your water bill. A tiny fee that pays for the shared infrastructure.
So it creates a sense of shared ownership. Everyone has a little skin in the game.
Exactly. It funds the baseline operations, the identity verification, the governance. It makes the system accountable to its members, not advertisers.
Okay, I can see the logic. What's the second bigger revenue source?
This is the really clever part. It's a contractual share of the standard payment processing fees.
The swipe fees.
The swipe fees that already exist on every digital transaction you make. That money from Visa or Stripe or whoever almost always leaves the community. MCC just found a way to redirect a small piece of that existing cost back into the local system.
Okay, let's use the example from the source material because this makes it super clear. A $100 purchase at a local store.
Right. So under the MCC model, the seller gets the full $100, no platform cut.
$100 in their pocket.
Yep. The customer pays a standard processing fee. Let's say it's about $3.05. That 3.05 is the pool. That's where MCC's revenue comes from.
And how that pool gets divided is the core of the whole thing.
Precisely. It's governed by what they call the 25-25-50 Wealth Recirculation Engine. And that split is fixed. It's in the contract. It's enforceable.
Okay, break that down for us. What happens to that $3.05?
25% of it goes directly to something called the Community Services Cooperative, or CSC. Think of this as the labor engine. It funds local worker-owned jobs.
So real jobs in the community, platform support, moderation.
All of it. Then another 25% goes directly to local nonprofits that the sellers get to designate.
Wow, okay, so it's direct reinvestment.
Mandatory, decentralized community reinvestment, tied directly to the local economy humming along.
So that's 50% of the platform's revenue that is instantly, automatically recirculated right back into the local community.
Correct. And the remaining 50% is what funds the core MCC platform.
Hmm.
The infrastructure, the security, legal, compliance, all of that. The system is literally designed so it can't become an extraction machine.
And the governance has to lock that in because you just know if this works, someone's going to try to buy it and gut it.
Oh, absolutely. Which is why the legal structure is so important. The source documents are very specific about this. The Community Services Cooperative, the CSC, is a legally distinct member-owned co-op.
It's not part of MCC.
It operates under a service contract with MCC, which itself is a public benefit corporation.
Hmm.
That separation is the firewall.
What does that firewall actually protect against?
It protects worker ownership. The co-op is democratically governed, one member, one vote. If some hostile actor bought MCC, the PBC, and tried to change the model,
It couldn't.
they couldn't touch the co-op. The labor, the local operations, the jobs, they all remain owned and controlled by the community members. It's resilience by design.
It's fascinating. It's all about structure and law, not just trusting a founder's promise.
Exactly.
Okay, so we have the money and the law. But the third piece is it's trust. How do you build a high-trust system when your whole model is based on not collecting user data, which is how everyone else does it?
You build a structural barrier to collecting in the first place. You shift from what they call data extraction to cryptographic privacy.
Using a zero-knowledge security model.
Yes. And the core principle is simple. The system is designed so that MCC literally cannot see your most sensitive information. They can't access your identity. They can't see your passwords. Even if a government forced them to, they can't hand over what they don't have.
So how does that actually work? How do they know I am who I say I am?
It starts with a bit of intentional fiction. Verification is mandatory, and it's done in person, at a local library, a community college, a trusted local hub. You show up once, prove you're a real person in that community.
In person. Wow.
It's different, and it's critical. That one act structurally eliminates almost all bots, fake accounts, and large-scale abuse. It builds in accountability from the ground up.
Okay, so I'm verified. Where does my digital ID live, if not on MCC's servers?
That's the zero-knowledge part. MCC does not store your passwords, your government ID, any of it. They issue you a digital key, a private key that you and only you hold on your phone, on a security token.
And they just keep the public key.
Right, which can verify you signed something, but it can't be used to impersonate you or unlock your account. It means if their servers ever get hacked, there's no central database of passwords to steal. It's just not there.
So practically speaking, for the user, how do I log in if there's no password to type?
They have a rule. Proof, not typing. You use something like a physical FIDO2 security key, you plug it into your computer, or you use biometrics on your phone.
Face ID, fingerprint.
Exactly. The actual secret key is sealed in your device's hardware, and it never, ever leaves.
Why is avoiding the keyboard so important?
Because almost all major hacking attacks, like phishing and keylogging, rely on tricking you into typing your secret into a fake box. By removing keyboard-based passwords entirely, you neutralize that entire class of attack.
Okay, but what if I lose everything? My phone, my key, my backups. What then?
Then you have to go through that intentional friction again. You go back in person to a verification hub and re-verify your physical identity.
Security over convenience.
Absolutely. It makes remotely hijacking an account permanently almost impossible. The system is built on cryptographic proof, not centralized data you have to trust someone else to protect.
The whole thing is incredibly well thought out. The structure's sound, the math adds up. So how do you prove it works in the real world?
You start small, and you focus on proof, not scale. The whole goal of the first 90-day pilot is just to get auditable evidence, proof that this whole engine actually turns.
And they've picked 3 lighthouse cities to test this, right? Each one testing a different idea.
Exactly. The first is Atlanta, Georgia. This is to validate what they call the cultural economic scale model.
So you've got strong institutions like HBCUs, a very visible Black-owned business community.
Right. Can MCC plug into that existing powerful cultural economy and amplify it? That's the test in Atlanta.
Makes sense. What about the West Coast?
Then you have Los Angeles. That's the test for the large-scale fragmented urban model. LA is huge. It's spread out. You have tons of micro enterprises, gig workers.
So can it work when the community isn't all in one neat neighborhood?
Can the network effect still take hold? That's the LA question.
The third city is Oakland.
Oakland is the high readiness model. Oakland has a deep history of co-ops, of buy local movements. They're already primed for this.
So that's the test for speed. How fast can this be adopted when the community is already aligned?
Exactly. And success in any one of these gives every other city a proven blueprint to follow.
What does success actually look like, though? What are the hard numbers they're aiming for in 90 days?
They're very specific. They need to get over 300 verified users and 30 businesses in a city. But most critically, they have to complete one full documented 25F50 wealth recirculation cycle from real transactions.
The auditable proof.
That's the auditable proof that the engine works. And they have transaction volume targets too, like over $20,000 in Atlanta to show it's generating real economic activity.
So to bring this all together, what MCC is building is an alternative based on a structural asymmetry. They're offering things the incumbents literally cannot offer without destroying their own business models. 100% of your sale price, guaranteed reach to your followers, zero knowledge identity.
It's an economic and security proposition that the old guard just can't compete with. Which brings us back to that quote from the founder.
This is not protest, it is construction.
Yes. It doesn't rely on asking the big platforms to please be nicer. It relies on math and law and good governance to build something better. An infrastructure that only succeeds when the community it serves succeeds.
Which leaves us with a final, really provocative thought for you to take away. If a city can legally and demonstrably build its own durable digital utility, one that puts its own jobs and its own economic sovereignty first, does that make the old model just dominant, or does it make it structurally obsolete?